guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2024 Lincoln Navigator Black Label.
And a big thanks to CJ and the rest of the management and staff here at AutoNation Lincoln in Clearwater, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for CJ.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Navigator has been Lincoln's full-size luxury three-row SUV since 1998. The fourth generation Navigator that you see here is actually on its final model year, being with us since 2019, but with the new fifth generation 2025 models coming to dealers in the next few months. The Navigator's received a pretty serious and modernizing facelift for the 2022 model year, and for 2024 the Navigator is no longer available with two-wheel drive. All models now come standard with full-time four-wheel drive. The base model Navigator is now named the Premier and comes standard with a 3-month free Blue Cruise 1.0 hands-free driving subscription trial. There are 3 trims available for the 2024 Navigator. The top 2 are available with a long wheelbase for $3,000, but the standard wheelbase Navigators for 2024 range from the $84,000 base Premier up to the $112,000 Black Label that you see here. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So we get full LED headlamps to be expected, LED for the high and low beam with projectors, LED daytime running light, and an LED turn signal beneath everything. We get a pretty aggressive grille too. It's a subtle gloss black, flat black contrasted with a massive Lincoln badge up front, forward-facing camera, a little bit of chrome surrounding it, full front parking sensing. We mentioned the forward-facing camera, functional airflow in each corner. Take a step over here to the side, check out the wheel and tire setup, which are massive here. Black 22-inch rims wrapped in Pirelli Scorpion Verde all-season tires, dimensions being 285/45 R22s. The 45 series sidewall should do an excellent job keeping the ride quality super plush, and the 285 wide tires with four-wheel drive shouldn't have any issues putting the power to the ground. Before continuing, let's take a step out to the opposite side, check out the window sticker on this 2024 Navigator. It's gonna be really tough to see with the glare from the sunlight, but hopefully you guys can pick up at least something here on this 2024 Lincoln Navigator Black Label twin turbo 3.5 liter V6, which cranks out 340 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. But hopefully you can pause to take a look at all the standard features. You get a special edition package for $6,700, $2,600 for the heavy-duty trailer tow package. After about $10,800 in total options and a $2,000 destination charge, we're sitting at almost $124,000. Even with four-wheel drive, we're still averaging 18 mpg, 16 in the city, and 22 on the highway. Hopefully picked up at least some of that window sticker. This is an expensive SUV, almost $125,000 before taxes and fees, but you are getting your money's worth when it comes to luxury and performance-wise, with almost 450 horsepower, over 500 pound-feet of torque. This is a 6,200 pound SUV, and keep that in mind. It does 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. That is unbelievable. Compared to an Aviator, it'll do 0 to 60 in half of a second quicker than that. It has almost the same power, and it weighs well over 1,000 pounds more. So this power plant may well be underrated. We get power running boards, aluminum trim above the running boards, camera part of the mirror to help us out with a 360, LED turn signal. We have a chrome Navigator badge with some black contrast, blind spot monitoring on the glass, black trim for the top part of the window trim, full black roof too, with a massive panoramic moonroof, roof rails, blacked out pillars with some aluminum trim for the bottom part of the window trim. We have smart access for all 4 doors. The gas cap is not push to open. I'll show you where the latch is inside. Full LED taillights, turn signals, and reverse light. Shout out AutoNation Lincoln here in Clearwater, Florida for helping make this review possible. Backup camera, third brake light, full LED. Trailer hitch, we have the heavy duty trailer tow package here. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much this Navigator can tow with that heavy duty package. We get dual exhaust outlets, but it's a single unit. I kind of wish we had a single tip on each side, but it still looks aggressive, and this power plant is a monster. Let's fire up this 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 and hear how she sounds. All right, guys, that was the sound of the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 sold by Lincoln for the 2025 Navigator. And it sounds okay, cranking out a lot of power at 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. Most likely underrated. Made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission, sending the power to all 4 wheels. You can expect 0 to 60 in the low 5-second range, which is unbelievable for an SUV weighing about 6,200 pounds and still getting 18 combined MPGs. With the adaptive suspension here, it has an unbelievable ride quality, great headlamps, great looks, and an unbelievably spacious and loaded interior. Yes, this is an expensive SUV, don't get me wrong, but you are getting a lot for the money. Taking a step inside, let's see what we get. Speaking of a lot for the money, conventional door handle, that's going to change for 2025. Most of the Lincoln lineup has like that digital style door handle. We'll take a quick look at this inside the door pocket, see all of your potential information, power running boards. Hopefully you guys can pick those up on camera. Set the lights back to auto so the SUV's not yelling at me. We get leather stitch material up top and for the armrest. It's a lot softer for the armrest. 3-person memory seats. We get the 24-way adjustable seats here. They are really comfortable and very supportive. You have adjustments for the headrest, shoulder area, the mid-waist area, bottom area, and 2 separate adjustments for the thigh support. We also have lumbar control, massage function. It is loaded. 28 speaker Revel audio system too. It thing bumps. We have 2 tiers of storage. You'll fit wallets and car accessories in the middle tier. Stack 2 16-inch subs. Get a couple 6-inch subs here and 2 24-ounce water bottles. We get illuminated aluminum black label nameplate. As we step inside, we mentioned the seats. They are 10 out of 10. One of the most comfortable seats in the business. That's why you're going with the Navigator over an Escalade. It's because it's the most comfortable and you get that standard power plant that, quite honestly, Cadillac cannot match performance-wise or fuel economy-wise. It can match with it in terms of V8 sound, but you're not going to be putting an aftermarket exhaust in an Escalade anyway, so you'd rather have the quieter, more powerful twin-turbo V6 that we have here. The steering wheel here is pretty thick and more bolstered than an Expedition. Solid 9 3 2. The horn area is leather wrapped. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. Expect to get dual pane windows here. Yep, we do. For 125,000 bucks almost, it would be expected. Steering wheel controls, volume and skip on the left side, radar cruise control, lane keep assist on the right side, infotainment adjustments. You can hang up and answer your phone calls, voice commands, heads up display, music, and our navigation and settings, all with hard button shortcuts. That is appreciated. We can check out some of this infotainment information: trip 1, trip 2, fuel economy, tire pressure, seat belts, calm screen. My personal favorite would be the fuel economy screen. We get a digital speedo in the center, goes to about 140 miles per hour. You can turn on the tachometer, but me personally, I'm not going to be doing that. We get a 12.3-inch digital gauge display and 13.2-inch touchscreen. Before we get to that, we get a power tilt and telescoping steering column, paddle shifters. That's appreciated. I don't think the Expedition gets those. Turn signal stacks have a very satisfying click. Auto headlamps, auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers. Adjustable foot pedals, interior brightness, auto headlamps, as you mentioned, fog lights. Hopefully you get a good look at the pedals with our trunk release in the corner. All stitched material for the dashboard, stitching even for the center portion, and a massive heads-up display. Lincoln's had one of the best heads-up displays in the business last few years. You get your Revel Ultimate center speaker here too. The 13.2-inch touchscreen. We get 2 separate tiers of it. On the left side right now we're looking at audio, which is off, and climate on the right. Nice thing about this SUV is we actually get hard buttons for the climate itself. Not like all the new Lincolns, which I'm sure the Navigator for 2025 will follow, but all the new Lincolns, everything's adjusted to the touchscreen. So if you're like me and you prefer to have the hard buttons for the climate, snag up one of these 2024 Navigators while you can. Mechanically, it's the same. There are some updates and changes for 2025. But with that new 2025 model coming out, this $124,000 MSRP can turn into $115,000 to $120,000 out the door after taxes and fees really quickly if you do some negotiation and they start offering some discounts and incentives, which they will very shortly. Anyway, we get shortcuts up top, audio, phone, navigation, favorites, apps, settings, and features. Let's check out the navigation screen. We get our Google Maps display. It is really high resolution and very responsive, which will only improve for the 2025 model. But if you do choose to go with the 2024 discounted model, this is still an absolutely unbelievable system. I mean, mechanically to the bones, it's going to be a very similar overall platform, at least for the first model year. We get our trailer backup assist, which is part of our heavy duty trailer package, helping us out with our steering for the trailer. So if you've never backed the trailer up before, you can let the vehicle do its thing for you. Be it our gear selector, park, reverse, neutral, and drive. We mentioned the climate settings. We also have media shortcuts above it. Leather stitching for your knee will often hit. A ton of storage underneath the center console area too. We get wood grain trim all throughout the center area, USB A and C port, wireless phone charging pad, electronic parking brake. We can turn off our auto engine start stop, automatic parking assist, auto hold for the electronic parking brake, our drive mode selector. Our drive modes include normal, conservative, and excite. We'll start off in normal, try out excite and conservative and see what the differences are. Check out our cup holders. We get 2 of them. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles with a wallet and phone in front of it. And we get a nice wood design trim, which is illuminated at night for the actual center console. We can open up the actual center console. It's a 2-tier. You'll fit car accessories in this top tier, probably fit 3 or 4 wallets, and you'll fit a couple bowling balls in this center console. You'll easily fit 6 2-liter bottles of soda. It is very spacious, and our glove box, it's soft touch on the outside of it. Opens up pretty quickly, damp blend felt and large. You'll fit about 20 license plates, but I'd expect you to fit 3 pairs of shoes given how wide it is. Easily fit about 10 large books. Leather stitching above it, more of that wood trim all the way up top with a leather stitched dashboard. We get a frameless auto dimming rear view mirror. It's not digital. Sunglass holder. The interior lights are LED. We can open up the shade for this massive panoramic moonroof. I'm not quite sure what was caught in the way, but it looks like it figured itself out. The glass opens up immediately, but we want the shade to open up fully before we open up the glass, so let's do exactly that. The shade goes to the end of the second row, and let's see how far the glass goes out. The opening piece of the glass goes underneath the second panel, so it's not sticking out like a sore thumb. See if it goes any further back. It does. So to the end of the front row, we can poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Clearwater, Florida. Sunny and 88 degrees according to this 2024 Navigator. Let's shut this roof right up though. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But that's about it, at least for the front seat of this 2024 final model year, 4th generation Lincoln Navigator. It is a really impressive luxury SUV, especially now that you can get some pretty solid discounts for the 2025 models coming out. We get leather stitching up top, gushy soft leather for the armrest, F-150 style door handle, 2 tweeters up top, and a pretty solid sized bass speaker. You'll fit probably a 6-inch sub in this bottom pocket, stacked 2 footlongs on top of each other with a 16 to 24 ounce water bottle in front. The running board continues. The second row seats are really well bolstered for a back seat. They're not as adjustable as they are up front, but they can still recline and slide in the back. The legroom, it's a full-size 3-row SUV. To be expected, some leather stitching for this grab handle, making it easier to take a step inside. And at a little bit over 6 feet tall, I still have at least 8 to 10 inches of knee room. The seat slides a little bit further back. Now I have like 8.5, 9 inches. The headroom, I got about 1.5 inches, and the seat reclines, as you mentioned. With it fully reclined, I'm almost lying down back here. I got like 7 inches of headroom. I do compromise a little bit of knee room, but I'm extremely comfortable back here. If you're under 7 feet tall, I wouldn't expect you to have any issues sitting in the back of a 2024 Navigator. We get massage seats back here too. The seat adjustments are heated and ventilated for this price point, to be expected. You can adjust the climate from the control panel, audio, and the settings. Up top, we get air vents to blow directly into our face, hooks, LED interior lighting, speaker that goes also directly into your ears. You can open up the sunshade, close it up from the center display. We get charge ports, 2 USB-C ports, 12 volt and a 110 volt, 150 watt AC outlet. We also get some additional cup holders down below too. Hopefully you pick those up on camera. Map pockets behind both of the front seats. Ton of light brought into the cabin thanks to this massive panoramic moonroof. The armrests back here are also pretty comfortable. It's an opening console. You'll be able to fit a 6-pack of 1-liter bottles of soda easily with an LED interior light. This center console doesn't pop up, so it's pretty much here to stay, but it's still very, very comfortable and spacious in the second row. As far as the third row, let's take a step back there and see the overall quality of the materials and space. So the second row, it slides forward pretty conveniently and it angles up, making it extremely easy to get into the third row. We gotta move these floor mats out of the way. Should have done that before starting this video, but shouldn't be the end of the world. And bringing these seats right back to where they were, even in the furthest back seat setting, this left seat is further back than the one on the right. I still have over 1 inch of knee room, headroom. about an inch. If you're under 6'2", 6'3", you're gonna be able to comfortably sit in the back of a 2024 Navigator with the second row seat all the way back and reclined all the way back. That's not something you're gonna be able to say with any SUV outside of the full-size segment. You recline the seat up a little bit, slide up an inch or two. This is gonna be a genuinely comfortable area for somebody 6'5", 6'6", and that's why you go with a full-size SUV, not a mid-size, if you're gonna be carrying large full-size adults out back. We get air vents that blow directly into your face. That's appreciated. We get a little bit of additional storage and just overall ton of footroom, ton of legroom, headroom. Everything is so comfortable. We get adjustments for the third row too. You can press this button to recline it up. You can press this button back and be even more comfortable. Now I have like 3-4 inches of overall headroom. The materials back here, they're just hard plastic, and the subwoofer is gonna be booming right into your hip. This 28 speaker audio system, it may get a little bit loud. You're probably gonna have to ask the people up front to turn down the bass a little bit. USB 8 port, ton of storage. Hopefully you can pick all of it up on camera. That's about it though, guys, for the third row. Let's check out the cargo space of this massive 2025 Lincoln Navigator, which isn't even the extended wheelbase. So the reason for the extended wheelbase, you guys saw how spacious it is in the third row. The extended wheelbase doesn't really affect the third row seating space, but it gives you basically the amount of space behind the third row that this SUV would give you behind the second row. A little bit less, but you get the point. Underneath the L is a button to open up your entire liftgate, and underneath the I is a button to open up this glass. This is a really cool feature if you have pets, because you can go to the grocery store and drop all of your groceries into your trunk without worrying about your dog or your cat jumping out and running all over the parking lot. Also, if you fold the third row seats down, you'll be able to run a kayak or two, possibly depending on the size of the kayaks, through the back seat. You won't have to use any bungee straps or anything like that. You still probably should, but it's also pretty convenient to be able to just run the kayaks all the way through. I would just put a little bit of a mat over some of this plastic. We can drop this glass right back up, it's latched, and underneath the L, as we mentioned, is the button to open up the entire liftgate. And it does so pretty quickly. It gives you a second to get out of the way so you don't have to worry about getting duped in the head. And here, behind the third row, it's still a pretty solid amount of space. It's just not really that much more compared to what you get from a mid-size three-row SUV. The extended wheelbase will bring the cargo space to about an additional 12-18 inches in length above what we have here. So if you're planning on keeping 6 to 7 full-size adults in your SUV at all times and still want to carry some cargo, pay the extra $3,000 and go for the extended wheelbase. You'll definitely appreciate it. You can drop the third row seats with a click of a button. You press the R to drop the right seat. The headrest should, yep, there we go. The headrest should fold down. The floor mats are going to get in the way, so I would highly doubt if they fold flat. Yep, they do not. But hopefully you get a good idea of the third row seat space with the floor mats. The seat on the right's not going to be able to fall down. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much cargo space is back here with the third row up, third row down, and with the second row down. Secret storage, you see what we got going on back here. Not the most space, but there is a little bit with your fix-a-flat and jack on the right side. You'll be able to fit probably a backpack, maybe 2 on that left side. We get hooks in each corner, so if you do decide to run kayaks in here without opening up that glass, you can just simply bungee strap them to the sides, and you can drop the second row seats down electrically as well, and a little bit of a hook for some cargo on both sides. That's about it though, guys. For the cargo space, the button to drop the trunks on the left side, and as soon as you press it, the trunk starts to close. So if you have grocery bags in your hands, remember, get out of the way or you're gonna get doofed in the head. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all new, well, not all new because it's actually on its final model year, gonna be out of production in the next few months, but this new 2024 Lincoln Navigator Black Label, it is fully loaded, beautiful inside and out, and surprisingly a good performer. 0 to 60 in the low 5-second range. I was not expecting it to be that quick, but speaking of quick, let's take this 2024 Navigator Black Label out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new top-of-the-line 2024 Lincoln Navigator Black Label. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impression, the steering feels a little bit sharper and more direct compared to the Expeditions we reviewed in this channel. With the adaptive suspension, it's noticeably softer of a ride quality. Brakes feel really good. Yeah, the bumps you don't even feel at all. Throttle response is really, really good. 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. I mean, to be expected. You wouldn't expect it to feel sluggish, but considering it weighs 6,200 pounds, I don't think many people would expect it to be quite as quick as what we actually have here. It doesn't really feel like a large SUV either. I feel like it conceals its size better than the Expedition does. Maybe that's the adaptive suspension at work. Bump. Like it doesn't even exist. Lincoln also not only pioneered the luxury three-row SUV in the full-size segment with this Navigator, they also kind of pioneered the idea of having a luxury three-row SUV with an independent rear suspension for the full-size segment. This was, I believe, the first to do it in second generation, possibly third. But taking a step out here, we can open her up a little bit more once we're situated on the gas. Oh! Taking a step out here, yet the ride quality over these bumps is fantastic. Just cruising along, super commanding view of the road. Brakes again feel really good. We can try one out off the line right over here. We're not gonna go too crazy, just a slight brake boost to get the boost going, and let's go. Ooh. Monster, that is just in normal mode. We'll try it out in sport too. See what changes up. Oh, whew, this thing can rip in normal mode. So throwing it into sport, we'll see exactly what changes up. All right, guys, sport mode, excite mode, off the line, on the gas. Boost. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No need to go any further, but yeah, sport mode definitely gives you a more aggressive shove as soon as you lean into it. What's interesting to me is although this vehicle has full-time four-wheel drive, when I was just in sport, I had a 4A illuminated on the dashboard, and when I put it back into conserve, it says 2H. So let's see if you get wheel spin. No, that still feels like four-wheel drive. Oh my God, this thing is so ridiculously powerful. Yeah, so although it says 2H and 4A, I think it's just pre-tuned to do that since the 2023 model. But now that the 2024 model, yes, they all have four-wheel drive full time, they still kept that tuning for when we're switching up the drive mode selector. Either way, you're not doing burnouts in this thing. You're gonna step on that gas and that power is getting put down. Yes, the throttle is way less sensitive in the conserve mode. So for the rest of this review, let's leave it in normal. Let's get set up, try a normal pull, open up a little bit more than we've been so far on the gas. Boost. Oh. Yeah, hopefully you can pick up this performance. It's a monster. And now at speed, at highway speeds, it doesn't really take any throttle to keep this thing moving. It's silent in here. Not only do you run over the bumps and not feel anything, you don't hear anything either. Coming out of the Corsair, Aviator, and Nautilus today, this may have a tiny bit more road noise. Maybe it's the wind noise I'm hearing because it's just a larger vehicle with more glass hitting against the wind, but it's really right up there. It's just as quiet as all those vehicles for the most part. We can try out these manual shifts, second gear on the gas. They respond okay. It's pretty cool to have paddle shifters in this platform because I don't think I've driven an Expedition yet with paddle shifters. Maybe the limited Stealth Performance Edition had them, but outside of that, not something that I've been seeing in most of them. All right, guys, taking a step out over here, light throttle, really good response. When it comes to just tapping on that accelerator pedal, it doesn't feel like a turbocharged power plant. That's something that Ford and Lincoln have done absolutely fantastic with this EcoBoost, the 3.5 EcoBoost at least. The response to the foot feels just as good, if not better than a lot of V8 engines. You get a really good sensation of power as soon as you lean into it. Speaking of lean into it, let's do that again one more time before wrapping things up. About half throttle, boost kicks in, and it picks up speed a lot better than it should considering the size, and isolation is excellent. Let's try out a real world turning radius in this tight area. See if this behemoth can make it. Looks like it can. Wow, that's a good turning radius in the gas. There's really not much not to like about this SUV. It's massive, spacious, loaded, insanely comfortable, and it is really surprisingly quick. If you're looking for a well-performing three-row full-size SUV and you're okay with paying an extreme amount of money just to get the best, the best acceleration, the best feeling interior, the most modern and updated tech, and the best and most competitive discounts right now on the road today. With the 2025 Navigator coming up in the next few months, I'm not surprised if you're going to see $10,000, $15,000 potential discounts on these 2024 Navigators, considering that to the bones mechanically, we're talking about almost the exact same vehicle, at least for the initial release. I think that it's a no-brainer. If you're looking for a top-level luxury performance three-row SUV, you are looking at probably the most comfortable and quickest way into one. And a big thanks to CJ and Bill here at AutoNation Lincoln in Clearwater, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for CJ. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.